Of chaos, doctors treating victims on the floor, saying they received hundreds of patients, many injured, many dead. Israel Defense Forces confirming they carried out the strike, saying it killed a Hamas leader, but declined to acknowledge the extent of civilian casualties.
It is difficult to understand how many non-combatants were in the area, but the military objective, the strike here, was to strike a significant military commander. That was achieved.
It's just the latest bloody assault in this new phase of the war. For 5 days now, Israeli forces have deepened the military incursion into Gaza to root out Hamas. Israel striking hundreds of targets daily, forcing more than half of all Gazans further south.
Right now, the skies above are full of F-16s. It's truly frightening. This is 24/7.
Israel did not start this war.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday said that Israel will press on and rejected the growing calls for a ceasefire.
Calls for a ceasefire are calls for Israel to surrender to Hamas, to surrender to terrorism, to surrender to barbarism. That will not happen.
But the tension in the region is already having ripple effects. Videos circulating online show anti-Semitic attacks on the rise throughout Europe.
The levels of hatred, glorification of the murder of Jews, and just the broader spread of panic and fear is pretty disturbing.
And here in the United States, stepped up security at schools as concern grows over acts of hate.
We've responded to an increase in threats against Jewish, Muslim, and Arab American communities and institutions across our country.
The message I just want to get out right now is that it's truly incredibly scary right now on college campuses.
The expanded ground operations by Israeli forces began late last Friday, flames lighting up the night sky.
I think everybody is united that Hamas can't be there. We can't even leave a remnant of Hamas there to go back.
Israel imposing a widespread communications blackout in Gaza for more than 24 hours.
I felt like we were disconnected from the world. Honestly, it's a terrible thing. We have gone back 15 years.
Israeli officials say one of the main goals in this ground operation is to find and free the more than 230 hostages being held by Hamas. In fact, at least one Israeli soldier, Private Ori Megadesh, has been rescued as a result of the incursion. A video shared by the Israeli government captured the 19-year-old's tearful reunion with her grandmother. But the humanitarian crisis in Gaza growing more dire, and basic needs are quickly becoming scarce resources.
No electricity, no internet, no water, no food. We are dying. Slowly. That's it.
Roughly 1,000 Americans and their families are still stuck in Gaza, desperate to get out. Among those trapped is Aboud Akal, who's taken refuge in the city of Rafah at the Egyptian border with his wife and one-year-old son.
We're staying hopeful that tonight will be another safe night for us. At this point, we don't care much about how intense the bombing is, as long as we come out alive in the morning.
All this driving heightened tension. The FBI director today warning that the conflict between Israel and Gaza makes the United States more vulnerable.
The ongoing war in the Middle East has raised the threat of an attack against Americans in the United States to a whole nother level. Each one of these dots has a series of incidents underneath them that speaks to the broader activity that we're tracking.
Oren Siegel of the Anti-Defamation League tracking the domestic fallout from the war overseas.
So what this map shows is incidents of anti-Semitism that we have documented since October 7th. Vandalism, harassment, assault. There's been a nearly 400% increase in anti-Semitic incidents reported to us.
One of the places Siegel is focusing on, college campuses. Videos capturing the tension going viral. Tulane student Dylan Mann says he was protesting peacefully when he suddenly got caught in a scuffle between pro-Palestine and pro-Israel supporters.
It all happened so fast, but he completely blindsides me. He bashes a megaphone onto my nose and it instantly breaks. I was in complete shock. I remember I went deaf for a couple seconds. I had no idea what was going on.
On the day of the incident, Tulane saying in a statement that the campus is secure and that they condemn and are outraged by today's violence and the hateful language and rhetoric we heard. Despite breaking his nose, Mann says the demonstration just motivates him to stand up for his community.
I will keep advocating for Israel in a peaceful way. College is the place where young people come and they learn and they grow their ideas. I think they should feel the most safe expressing those ideas.
Colleges in New York on heightened alert as well. From Jewish students barricading themselves in a library at Cooper Union College to hide from pro-Palestinian protesters, to Cornell University, where online threats over the weekend prompted an FBI investigation.
There are police everywhere surrounding this building.
Cornell senior Liana Meza was terrified when she saw a post threatening to shoot up the school's kosher dining hall.
How did that make you feel when you saw those posts?
It was incredible, scary seeing this, especially that there are possibly people on my campus, possibly people that I sit right next to in class that truly believe this.
Cornell University releasing a statement saying in part, threats of violence are absolutely intolerable, and we will work to ensure that the person or people who posted them are punished to the full extent of the law. We will not tolerate anti-Semitism at Cornell. Late tonight, the Justice Department releasing a statement saying Cornell Jr. Patrick Dye has been charged with making threats to Jewish students on campus. Dye is expected to make an initial court appearance tomorrow.
There is really ways to oppose the Israeli government, to comment on things that they've done wrong, and to go forward from there. I think what's been happening at Cornell and across the world, though, is that it's actually targeting Jews, and that's where the problem arises.
When anti-Semitism increases, all forms of hate increase. We know that in order to fight anti-Semitism, you have to fight anti-Muslim bigotry.
Hanan Shaheen knows full well the effects of anti-Muslim bigotry. Shaheen and her 6-year-old son, Wadia Al-Fayoumi, were stabbed by their landlord at their home in the suburbs of Chicago. The 71-year-old suspect accused of attacking them because they were Muslim and Palestinian, pleading not guilty to all charges, including 2 counts of committing a hate crime. Her son, stabbed 26 times, did not survive.
Yes, I will say pray for peace.
Shaheen, alongside her attorney, speaking in an exclusive interview with my colleague, Alex Perez.